Hey everyone, welcome back to the Pharmacology Vault, your go-to channel for deep dives into neuroscience and pharmacology. Today, we're unlocking a fundamental powerhouse of the central nervous system, the glutamatergic system. Whether you're a student, researcher, or just curious about how your brain lights up when you learn, this episode is for you. So let's jump in. The glutamatergic system is the brain's primary excitatory neurotransmitter network. Excitatory neurotransmitters are chemicals that increase the likelihood of a neuron firing. Think of them as the gas pedal of the brain. And the main molecule behind this is glutamate. Glutamate is the most abundant neurotransmitter in the brain, and it plays a central role in turning thought into action. It's essential for synaptic plasticity. That's how your brain adapts and strengthens connections during learning. Learning and memory. Without glutamate, you wouldn't remember this video. Cognition and sensory processing. It helps your brain interpret sight, sound, and touch. Mood regulation. It's even involved in how you feel and think emotionally. Once glutamate is released into the synaptic cleft, it's taken back by EAATs and recycled via the glutamate-glutamine cycle. EAATs, excitatory amino acid transporters, are like vacuum cleaners. They suck up leftover glutamate to avoid overload. The glutamate-glutamine cycle is a beautiful teamwork between neurons and astrocytes, the brain's support cells, to keep neurotransmission running smoothly. So, what is glutamate exactly? Think of it as the spark in your brain's communication system. It helps neurons talk to each other, and plays a key role in memory, learning, and even your emotions. But where does this powerful molecule come from? Let's break it down. There are two major ways your brain makes glutamate. First, from alpha-ketoglutarate, a molecule that comes from the Krebs cycle, your cell's energy production line. Here, an enzyme called glutamate dehydrogenase comes into play. It adds an amino group to alpha-ketoglutarate and, boom, you get glutamate. This pathway cleverly connects energy metabolism with neurotransmitter production. Second, from glutamine, thanks to a process called the glutamine-glutamate cycle. In this case, astrocytes, the support cells in your brain, convert glutamate into glutamine and send it to neurons. Neurons then use an enzyme called glutaminase to convert glutamine back into glutamate, ready for release at the synapse. Pretty amazing, right? But here's the kicker: while glutamate is essential, too much of it can be dangerous. Excess glutamate can overstimulate neurons, leading to something called excitotoxicity, which has been linked to diseases like Alzheimer's and ALS. So, the brain doesn't just make glutamate, it carefully balances it. Glutamate acts through two major types of receptors: ionotropic receptors, fast, direct, and electric. Metabotropic receptors, slow, indirect, and modulatory. Let's break it down. Ionotropic receptors, NMDA, requires glutamate, glycine, and a bit of electrical activity. It's like a triple-check security gate, only opens when conditions are perfect. AMPA handles the majority of fast brain signals. Think of it as the brain's high-speed messenger. Kainate, a modulator, fine-tuning the excitatory tone. Metabotropic receptors, mGluRs, these are G-protein-coupled receptors. They work through signaling cascades, not direct ion flow. Group 1, e.g., mGluR1, increase postsynaptic neurons activity. Group 2 and 3, suppress excessive neurotransmitter release from presynaptic cells. This dual regulation ensures balance, like having both a thermostat and a fan in your house. This system drives long-term potentiation, LTP, the strengthening of synapses that underlies memory and learning. Sensory processing, turning raw sound, touch, and vision into meaningful information. Motor coordination, helping muscles move in a smooth, controlled way. Neuronal development, guiding how neurons grow, connect, and specialize. Mood regulation, yes, glutamate affects emotional tone too, which is why it's a target in depression therapies. But too much of a good thing is dangerous. Excitotoxicity happens when there's excess Ca², calcium ion, influx due to overstimulation. Calcium is vital, but in excess, it becomes a toxic flood that damages or even kills neurons. This is a common pathway in stroke, trauma, and neurodegenerative diseases. Let's talk about what happens when glutamate signaling goes off track, and trust me, the consequences are serious. Glutamate is vital for brain function, but too much of a good thing can turn toxic. Let's explore some major disorders linked to glutamate dysfunction. Stroke or ischemia. When blood flow to the brain is cut off, neurons run out of oxygen, and glutamate starts piling up. This toxic buildup triggers cell death, worsening the damage. Epilepsy. Here, it's like the brain circuits are stuck in overdrive. Excessive glutamate causes uncontrolled excitation, leading to seizures. Alzheimer's disease. In this case, certain glutamate receptors, especially NMDA receptors, start malfunctioning. The result? Memory loss, cognitive decline, and synaptic failure. Depression. More than just low serotonin. Research shows abnormal glutamate levels may contribute to low mood and poor emotional regulation. Schizophrenia. Here, NMDA receptors may be underactive, leading to disrupted thinking, hallucinations, and cognitive symptoms. ALS, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. Glutamate overstimulates motor neurons, eventually causing them to degenerate, which leads to progressive muscle weakness. So, how do we fight back? Here are some cutting-edge therapeutics targeting the glutamate system. Memantine, a drug that blocks NMDA receptors to reduce glutamate toxicity in Alzheimer's, helping slow the disease's progression. Riluzole, used in ALS, this drug reduces glutamate release, helping extend life and preserve motor function a little longer. Ketamine, once just an anesthetic, now a game-changer. It works as a rapid-acting antidepressant by blocking NMDA receptors, offering hope for those with treatment-resistant depression. Here's where things get really interesting. Balance. Meet GABA, glutamate's opposite. Feature glutamate GABA, role excitatory inhibitory, effect up pointing arrow neuronal firing down pointing arrow neuronal firing. Receptors NMDA, AMPA, etc. GABA A, GABA B. Disorders: stroke, Alzheimer's, anxiety, insomnia. Think of glutamate as the accelerator and GABA as the brake. Both are essential for healthy brain function. Alright, let's wrap things up with some powerful takeaways about the glutamatergic system, one of the brain's most critical communication networks. First up, glutamate is king when it comes to excitatory neurotransmission in the central nervous system. It's the main player driving learning, memory, and cognition, helping neurons fire and connect in the ways that shape our thoughts and behaviors. But how does it actually work? Glutamate signals through two main types of receptors: ionotropic receptors, like NMDA, AMPA, and kainate, which open ion channels to quickly excite neurons, and metabotropic receptors, called mGluRs, which work more slowly but help fine-tune brain activity. Sounds like a well-oiled machine, right? Here's where things can go wrong. When glutamate levels get too high, the system goes into overdrive. This leads to excitotoxicity, a damaging process where neurons get overstimulated to death. It's a major factor in stroke, Alzheimer's disease, and ALS. But there's hope. Drugs like memantine, ketamine, and riluzole target different parts of the glutamate pathway. They help protect the brain, slow cognitive decline, and even treat depression by restoring balance in overactive networks. And here's a final thought: it's not just about glutamate. The brain thrives on balance, especially between glutamate and GABA, its calming counterpart. Too much excitation or too much inhibition, and things start to fall apart. So understanding glutamate isn't just about neurotransmitters, it's about unlocking how the brain works, and how we can heal it when things go wrong. Thanks for watching this episode on the glutamatergic system. If you liked it, hit that, share it with a friend, and don't forget to subscribe for more bite-sized pharmacology wisdom. Have a topic suggestion? Drop it in the comments. This is the Pharmacology Vault, and we'll see you next time.